everyone. Welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at Charlie Thorne and the Last Equation, chapter 46 and 47. It starts off with Samil calling Benny West. Who's Benny West? Benny West was a Mossad agent, and if you were a Mossad agent, you're always a Mossad agent. But Benny West, some people in Israel or the Middle East wanted to kill Benny because he stopped them or caused problems for them, and so they were going to try and kill him. And so the Mossad sent Benny West in hiding, and we call that "on the lam." Now, "on the lam" is kind of an old expression that we used in really old cop movies or spy movies or even gangster movies. Because if a gangster did something bad, they would have to leave town for a little while. They'd go on the lam. They would hide for a while until that bad thing that they did wasn't so serious anymore, wasn't so in the news. So Benny is on the lam. And so he works for some movie production company, I think so, and a lot of other ex-Mossad agents work there. And Samil calls Benny, and he says, "Hey, I want you to look for Charlie Thorne. We think she's in California, heading to LA. Get some other agents, get her, and find whatever get whatever she finds." So Benny calls a few more agents, and when Charlie Thorne and Dante and Milana land in that small little airport, there's a Mossad agent waiting and looking for them. So when they get off the plane, the Mossad agent sees them, I can't remember his name, calls Samil calls Benny, connects them all together, and they go to follow Charlie Thorne. And this agent, we call it tailing, which we looked at before, follows Charlie Thorne to the mountain. And that leaves us to the next chapter, Mount Wilson, which Mount Wilson was built in 1930, a long time ago, and a huge mountain, okay, probably has snow on the top of it all year round. And it has really sharp cliffs and really high kind of paths and things like that. So it was really hard to build the observatory there, and they had to use these really small roads and use donkeys to carry up all the stuff into the mountain or to the factory or the observatory. There we go. And by this time, in 2000s or wherever Charlie is, the roads have been updated a little bit so you don't have to ride a donkey, but it's just a really old and narrow road that's driving along this mountain. And if you look over on the side, there's just a yellow piece of tape. And then, woo! You can fall down to, I would say, oblivion, which is nothing, or fall off the mountain. Charlie and Dante, they get off they go up the trail in the mountain, and there's this one unmarked road that they have to go to get to the observatory. There's probably more roads to a park and other things, but that's not where they're going. So they go off this other road, but when they're going down the road, there's some big rocks that fell over and blocked the path. So they can't drive the SUV by. So they have to park the SUV there and walk in the snow. So they continue towards the observatory. They cross this little tiny bridge that's over this ravine. And there's some little house with a pump station. And Milanes asks, "What's that for?" And Dante says, "Oh, it's probably for fighting fires in the summertime." And then they continue on to the observatory. When they get to the observatory, I thought it's here. Oh, yeah, here it is. As they're crossing the bridge, they see a sign for Einstein and the guy that did all this cool stuff. I can't remember what his name was. Maybe Hooker, because the observatory they're going to is the Hooker Observatory or Hooker Dome. But anyways, it's them standing together at this bridge spot. Well, they continue off. They go to the main dome. They knock on the door. All of the people there are sleeping because most of their work happens at night when they can look at stars. And so no one answers. They go to another room, another door, and knock on that. And someone answers, and they say, "We're the CIA, let us in." "Oh my goodness." And she calls the person in charge, and he comes and lets them into the observatory. That's the Hooker Dome, where all that stuff happens. So when that happens, it switches over to the Mossad agent that was tailing Charlie and Milan and Dante, and he's on the phone with Benny. He says, "I found him. We're on Mount Wilson. You guys need to get over here. I'm gonna tell you how to get here." And beep beep beep. "Oh no," Benny says, "we got to get to that mountain quick." And then it switches to John Rousseau, who just killed the agent. And John Rousseau is really, really confused. He doesn't understand how Charlie could have memorized the formula, deciphered it so that way to understand Einstein's clues, and gotten here before he did, when he left first. Who is this woman or young girl? And he's a little angry, he's a little confused, but then he realizes, oh, you know what? This building is much bigger than I thought. It could take days to find Pandora. But this girl's so smart, she might be able to find it sooner. I'm going to let her do the hard work of finding it, and then I'm going to take it from them. And that's how the chapter ends. A few vocabulary words here for us. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Got that background changed. Okay. So the first expression here, hedge your bets. Hedge your bets means when you're making some kind of bet, some kind of gambling with your money, you want to protect your money, so you maybe do some things or bet your money in a way that you won't lose as much, or you're safer by maybe gaining extra in a different kind of bet. So it's just kind of a way to protect yourself from getting some loss. We say hedge your bets. And so the Mossad sent agents everywhere to protect themselves from loss. If they had all their agents at one airport, maybe they could capture everyone. But if Charlie and Milana and Dante went to a different airport, they would lose everything. So they just put their agents and spread them out to kind of protect themselves. Precipitous is really high and probably really steep, like the cliffs on the mountain. Ravines is the deep part where the mountain goes up, and then in the middle, we call that a ravine. It could be a valley too, but if it's really close together and down and deep, we call that a ravine. If it's very wide and you can maybe walk down there or have a little town, it's a valley. Commemorative means for your memory. So the picture of Einstein and the other scientists, there's some kind of plaque commemorating, made in honor of that memory for everyone to see. This word I had to look up. Ebullient, which means really joyful, excited, full of energy. This dog comes with the manager of this building, and I think he's a golden retriever, and he's really excited, jumping around and very friendly. And that is ebullient. And the last one here, doughy. Doughy means fat, but if you can imagine man, maybe in his 50s, not really exercising that much, and his tummy is probably a little bit like a donut, and probably feels like dough. And John Rousseau killed that guy. Discussion question. This is kind of a weird one, but in the story, suddenly they just talk about this bridge. And it didn't seem like it was that special or unique for our story. So I'm wondering if you think the random information about the bridge will come back into the story. Okay, so as Milana and Dante and Charlie are doing things in the next chapter, do you think that bridge or that water tower will come back into the story? Because it just seemed a little bit weird to have it in there without having it come back into the story for some special reason, or Charlie remembering something like that and doing something with it. Of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.